The rare 9-0 decision by the U.S. Supreme Court was clear. Law enforcement agencies need to get a warrant from a judge before using GPS tracking devices to follow the movements of citizens, even if they are suspected of criminal activity. The FBI put a device on the car of California resident Yassir Afifi and tracked him for weeks until he found the device.
He's raised concerns over time about, not being sure about his interactions with law enforcement, not being sure if he's surveilled, and, consistently wondering what it is that he could have done or what was said about him that sort of landed him in this situation to begin with. And I think that that's something that happens to members of all communities that are targeted without justification.
The High Court ruling, however, centered around the case of Antwan Jones, a Washington man who was convicted of conspiring to sell cocaine and sentenced to life behind bars. Key evidence against him was gathered with the use of a GPS device that was attached to his car after the warrant expired. The FBI and the Obama administration argued in the High Court that people who use public roads or highways can already be tracked by the government without a warrant by using cameras, scanners, and other technology that's already in place. They said that the GPS device should have been considered an extension of that access. But Jones's lawyers successfully countered by saying placing the GPS device on his car, his personal property, for weeks was a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights. It's a part of the U.S. Constitution that guarantees that people will not be subjected to unreasonable search or seizure without probable cause. But in writing the decision, Justice Antonin Scalia left the door open for government to use non-touching technology to track citizens without a court order. Cell phone monitoring, drones with face recognition software, and body scanners that can see through your clothes are still available to the government to track anyone whenever it chooses.
And that's where the opinion fails, because the police have all kinds of devices, from hummingbird drones that fly over peace marches to dragonfly drones to scanners watching us as we walk along the street. The police in New York now are going to implement scanners as they walk along the street to see if we have concealed weapons or concealed drugs or whatever. That all, in my opinion, should be covered by the Fourth Amendment and should require a search warrant.
Yassir Afifi is suing the Obama administration for invading his privacy. But advocates warn that despite the Supreme Court ruling, more people may find themselves exposed to the technical eyes of law enforcement without probable cause for having their attention. Gary Anthony Ramsey, Press TV, New York.